Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Ayobami Bakare. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Thank you, thank you. If this is your second time here or your uncountable number of times here, thank you so much. Okay, so in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about Canada. Okay, so the documents that you need for Canada are basically the same thing that you need for USA, except that you need to submit your TOEFL and your IELTS alongside with that. And some schools in Canada don't ask you for your TOEFL and IELTS, but most of the schools in Canada will ask you for that. So if you're definitely interested in Canada, please also look into how to do your TOEFL, how to do your IELTS. I didn't write that, any of those exams, but I know a little bit about them, so I'm going to try and put the information I know. So if you need that, please stay tuned for that. So and then another thing, I'm just going to give you like preamble on Canada, then move into the scholarships that Canada has for international students. So first and foremost, most schools in Canada have application fees. application fees. Do you understand me? Application fees. I feel like Canada is like it has its benefits. One thing I like about Canada is like they have the option that when you graduate, I think after like 2 years after graduating or so, you become a permanent resident or immediately one of them. And I feel like that's like their advantage over UK and US. Another thing that Canada has is, what else would I say? They don't do in-person interviews as of I think last year for student visas. It was like you just submit your documents, that's all. They don't do interviews for visa, which I feel like is a good thing. Like, do you get, for some people that like have, should I say, stage fright now, basically. So as I was saying, I'm going to be mentioning some schools and all of that. The first thing though is like, make sure you know the university in Canada that you want to do or you want to apply to. But the universities that I'll be mentioning here give full funding for international students, but it's not the same process as for USA. So please don't just jump right into it. The first school I'm going to be talking about is the University of Toronto. That did not come out well. The University of Toronto, that's the word. So, as I was saying, the University of Toronto has fully funded. I'm reading from my phone so that I can give you guys full details. The University of Toronto has full funding for international students. When I say full funding, you already know what I'm talking about. Tuition, room and board, living expenses, and all of that. So the University of Toronto has something called the Lester B. Pearson Scholarship. Lester B. Pearson Scholarship for international students. Do you understand me? So the Lester B. Pearson Scholarship for international students is more or less a full scholarship. It is a fully funded scholarship, but your university has to, not your university, your secondary school has to nominate you. So that's the difference for these fully funded scholarships here in Canada that I'm going to be talking about. You need your secondary school. You need them. Do you understand me? You need them. They need to nominate you. There's a whole process for that, which is what I'm going to be going into. For today, I'm going to say let's just focus on University of Toronto. Let me just give you a breakdown and all of that. So the University of Toronto is in Toronto, Canada, basically. So you for Canada, you apply to the scholarship, then you apply to the school. Do you understand that? The Lester B. Pearson Scholarship is fully funded. So to apply to the scholarship, your school needs to nominate you. Your school needs to nominate you. After they nominate you, then they nominate you. You apply to University of Toronto. University of Toronto then sends you a link to apply for the Lester B. Pearson Scholarship. So because you've applied to University of Toronto, that doesn't mean that you are automatically considered for that full scholarship. Do you understand? Your school has to nominate you. You have to receive the link from University of Toronto and then apply for the scholarship. Then you will now be considered. So this is for undergraduate students only. So now the scholarship is basically for 37 students, like in a year. For each academic session, they're taking 37 international students for that scholarship, not from each country. Like, that's how I would say competitive it is, but like 37. And I've seen students from Nigeria that have actually been part of the Lester B. Pearson Scholars. So they're called scholars once you get scholarship. It's for your 4 years of school. Please understand that anybody telling you that they're going to give you the link, or any agent telling you that, is fraud, is a scam. University of Toronto themselves have to send you the link after your secondary school has nominated you. I keep saying this, don't think because you've applied the scholarship didn't come like that, your school has to nominate you. To nominate your school, please confirm with your school. If you have a counselor, principal, vice principal, academics, head of school, confirm with them if they already participate in this. If they already do, then I don't need to explain the process. But if they do not, they need to apply for it. Your school has to apply and be verified and accepted. So I feel like, please don't apply to University of Toronto yet if your school has not been verified or accepted for that scholarship. The reason being that if you apply and I don't know if they reject secondary schools, but in the instance where they now reject your secondary school, God forbid, and you that was your hope of schooling, application fee, you know, to waste, to have go and waste, to have shuffle. Do you understand? So make sure your school, everything is set before you now go and apply. Even them. So I'm going to drop the link for University of Toronto for you to read more. Not the link to the scholarship, not the link to the application. The link to University of Toronto. We'll continue. You once you've been nominated and have applied to University of Toronto, that's when the link will be sent to you. You need to be an international student. You need to be in your final year of secondary school. You need to be in SS3. You need to be in year 12 or have graduated no earlier than June 2021. So I feel like if what this is saying is like 2 years or 1 year after graduation, those are the people eligible for the scholarship. So let's say you graduated in 2019 now and you want to apply for 2023 scholarship, the Lester B. Pearson, you are not eligible because you graduated in 2019. So please keep these things in mind that I'm listing. Then if you want to study, the program basically starts in September of every year. The deadline is January 17 of the year that you apply. So if you want to apply for 2022, the deadline is January 17, 2022. So now let me explain. For the school nomination deadline, the deadline for your school to nominate you is November 30th of the year before. So I'm using someone that wants to apply for September 2022. Your school must have nominated you latest November 30th, 2021. Guys, this is so important because I feel like if your school doesn't nominate you at the deadline, it might have like some effect on your application, but your school won't be able to nominate you and you won't be able to get scholarship, because the nomination leads to the scholarship, and because you are nominated doesn't mean you get scholarship. So let's not mix the two together. Because you are nominated, you get considered for it. So November 30, 2021. So know how to sit with your school. By September 2021, sit down with your school and start hammering, start processing and everything. Then your OUAC application is due December 14, 2021. The OUAC application is like, it's like common app in USA. It's like a centralized application for a lot of schools in Canada. But you do that, you need to submit that by December 14, 2021. Do you understand me? So between December 14, 2021 to January 17, 2022, they should have sent you your link. You should have submitted your application. Why I'm going to advise you to submit your OUAC application before December 2021 is that, as they said here, I'm reading directly from their site and giving you my own insights. It is recommended you apply for admission through the OUAC before November 7, 2021, as spaces in programs fill up quickly and popular programs may close early. So what they mean is, try and submit your application before November 7, 2021, because your degree, whatever you want to come and study, it fills quickly. You have to understand that, let's say you want to apply for accounting. Some students are, it's not only you that you're applying for accounting. Some students, like some Canadian students, are applying for accounting. Other students from different countries are applying for accounting. Some students are paying. So literally, they are not waiting for the deadline. Once the application opens, they submit and they pay their fees, and they already know that, oh, I'm going to attend this school. But you are going to apply through the scholarship, so you need to also be able to submit your application really early. And remember, it's just 37 students from all over, so don't play yourself. So if they are asking you to submit your OUAC before November 7, that means your school can nominate you before November 7. Left to me, I would say do everything before that November, because all of this is deadline. So that means the application would have been open from, let's say, August or September. You have 3 months. I would have submitted my own in September. I would have submitted, my school would have nominated me. I would have done my OUAC application. Then you remember, immediately your school nominates you and you submit your application, they send you the link for your scholarship. And you don't even know what the scholarship is going to look like. They might ask you to write an essay of like 3,000 words. And if you now wait till November 7, like, the gap will not be, you will want to rush it. But if you have done everything since September, let's say September 15, your school nominated you September 1st, you apply, and then you get the link. Let's just say all of that in September. You get the link, you now submit your application latest, like I'm giving, is it prosthesis now or projection? You now submit your application by October. The application is closing all the way January 17, 2022. You have submitted your own in October. Like, it literally gives you a lot of gap. But also keep in mind that some people would have submitted before you, like, straight up. Especially for schools that are already in the game, like they're already doing it, they already know what to expect, they already know what their students and all of those things. If your school is a beginning school, is a new person, it's a new fish in the ocean, please don't waste time. That's one thing. When some schools wanted to do the Yale Young African Scholars Program, they were joking with deadline. You're a new school. A lot of schools are already in this program. They already know what they need. I saw a student, from Loyola Jesuit in Nigeria. Guys, those students, like, I'm pretty sure, like, it's already lined up in their curriculum. Like, everybody will apply for. So a school that already knows a lot, that already knows, like, this is the time that we're submitting, you can't necessarily compete with them. The only advantage I would say you have over them now is submitting early and having a strong application. So don't play yourself in terms of that deadline. You are thinking it's January, submit way before that, submit way before that, submit way before that. Pearson Scholars PSC scholarship recipients can only be nominated by their current secondary school through our online process, and the scholarship is available only to undergraduate degree applicants. So now for new schools, how does your school nominate you? Nominations will start in September. So that means your school can nominate you September. You submit your application September, get the link September, submit your application, scholarship application September. No. High schools already verified by enrollment services will be contacted annually by email with a personalized, secure nomination form. So it's not even the same every year. So you can see they put the secondary schools that are already in their list. Those are people that will first get the link. If your school has not been verified, please submit an application to participate in our program available here. So there's a link on their website for that. But because this year's application is closed, the link for schools to also participate is closed. So your school needs to, around August, September, your school needs to, August, September next year, for those of you that want to apply. If you want to apply for 2023, that means around August, September this year, your school should have been sending emails to them. Even before sending emails, check their site. So I'm going to put the link down where your school can search and move forward with that. So then the next thing is they will send your school the details, the information and all of that. So I am not able to give you any information on that. It's what they send your school. Your school should know what to put and all of that. Then when it's verified, they will provide your school with the nomination form and the next steps. Then they nominate you. So you have to understand that if your school is a new school, it might take maybe 2 to 3 weeks or 1 week, I don't know, for them to verify your school. So keep all of that in mind when you want to apply for the scholarship. So use your brain. Then when they can start nominating students is in September. You can only nominate one student per year. The PSC scholarship is designed to recognize students from across the globe. So they basically want the top candidates in your school. Then when will my students receive a decision? You will know whether you've been accepted, whether you've been given the scholarship in April 2022. So the deadline is January 17, in April 2022. So your school can nominate you if you have not yet applied for admission. But in order to submit the scholarship application, the student needs to apply for admission to University of Toronto. Then if your school has more questions, please contact Pearson the scholarship at utoronto.ca. So I'm going to drop that email for those of you that your schools will want to contact them, especially if you're a new school. I'm also going to drop the link for those of you that want to read up on it and also check other things in the University of Toronto and check if they have your program and all of that. So I'll see you guys in my next video for another school in Canada. Definitely turn on your post notifications, share with your friends, share to schools that you know that they need to participate in this. And I really hope this